Welcome to the Untitled podcast. I am the Fivan, IVAN, here joined by my fellow co-host, Iris the Plug.
Hey.
And we got Casper to go.
Get it, boys.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. So, me and Nathan, we got iPhones, yeah? This guy's got a fucking Samsung, yeah?
I hate my phone. When I bought it, I swear, I only got it because it was meant to be like top of the range. It had like, all the specs were better than Apple, like than the iPhone 11, which was the best phone at the time. But now that I have it, I wish I never wasted my money on it.
Was iPhone 11 out at the time?
Sorry?
Was iPhone 11 out at the time when you bought it?
Yeah. The 11 Pro Max was like the premier phone at that stage up until my phone came out. I got the S20 Ultra, and like that's meant to be the new premier phone. But I fucking hate it. I wish I stayed with Apple.
Doesn't your partner have an Apple phone? Like
Yeah.
Apple 11, the
Yeah,
iPhone
I
11?
envy
Yeah,
it
so the iPhone 12 was announced to
Yeah.
the reveal. See, so there's no charger with it. There's no charger that
Yeah,
comes
I
with
heard
it.
that. What the hell?
Yeah, so first of all, and also, you know how they took away the headphone jack, but it still came with headphones that you could plug into the lightning port.
Yeah.
And now they also took away the headphones. So no headphones and no chargers that come with the iPhones from now on.
So there's no headphones coming with the phone and
Yeah.
no...
Does that mean there are no holes in the phone at all? Like now it's
So
just one
that's-
solid outer ring?
That's why they're doing it. That's what they're trying to get. So there's still the lightning port that you have to charge your phone. That's it. That's the only plug. So I guess the assumption is that, well, to be fair, like honestly, at home I've got like a million lightning iPhone chargers laying around the house. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean,
everyone
You
has
have half
billion.
of my chargers as well. The amount
Yeah,
of nights
exactly.
I spent at your
I
house,
swear it's
and
not
you
that
just
hard to
finesse
come
all
by.
my chargers.
But the thing is now on Apple sells it for like $50, like a charger. You know what I mean?
Mine, I mean, yeah, it's not the end of the world for me because, yeah, I've got a bunch of chargers and there's no way I'm using Apple headphones anyway because I love my Beats. So Beats sponsor us.
Yeah.
I love them. I love my Beats. So it's not a huge problem for me, but I think it's shitty. Like if you're selling a product, you should include everything that it needs. Like, you know what I mean? Like what if you don't have...
It's all a money-making scheme. It's
so
all
dumb.
it's all their way of like, okay, you bought this, now you need to buy this. Now you've got this, now you need to buy X, Y, and Z to make the product complete.
Bro, honestly, like Steve Jobs, this gun will be rolling in his grave, bro. I don't think he'd be happy with where it's going because it's like very distinct. Like when he dies, it goes in a different direction. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it is different.
Do you think it's better or worse though?
I respect Apple, like they're killing the game. Everyone's buying. Like here's the thing: they take away their charger, they take away the headphones. Everyone's still gonna buy it. No one gives a fuck. That's the thing. If you can do that, like props to you. You fucking did it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm my phone plan runs out in February, and I'm buying an iPhone 12.
Exactly.
That's what
It doesn't matter.
It's FOMO at this stage. Like if you don't have an Apple, then you're like, shit, I need an Apple. Like
I only like
Exactly,
Apple
like-
because it's simple and I know how to use it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why I
yeah.
go with it.
This wouldn't work if Apple only had like 40% of the market share. None of this would work. But since it's like 90%, since everyone has it, that's why. Like imagine iMessage. If only 40% of people had iMessage, that shit would not matter. But since like basically everyone has it, if you don't have it, like you're left out.
If this was like Hawaii or you know that other, what's that other like? Is it a Korean? I don't know. That other brand, is it Hawaii or
Yeah, Hawaii.
Huawei.
If that,
Huawei.
Oh, Huawei. Yeah, if it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
if it was like Huawei,
Huawei.
like no, you know what I mean? Like they couldn't pull something like that off because no one would buy their phone if that was the case.
Apparently, Huawei is actually one of the biggest telecommunications.
Yeah, they're second behind Apple. I think they might have even overtaken it because, you know, in these places like China and India where there's like 4 billion people.
Yeah, in those two countries.
Yeah, exactly.
combined.
Everyone has all those phones. So it's like the most, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a shitty thing to do. I don't think like how you're not going to put a charger and it needs a charger.
Yeah, literally,
in it.
especially for technology. If it was something that was like you could charge yourself, like
I
just-
low
just
key
with
wouldn't
your
be.
own
I
renewable
low
energy.
key wouldn't be surprised if when the phone actually releases, they change their mind and give the charger with
Nah,
it.
Yeah,
no
I reckon-
way.
I reckon they'll get a lot
Apple
of backlash.
never ever goes back. They will never.
If they
go
cop
back.
a lot of criticism, I could see it happening.
No way. Their whole thing is that they go through their motive. They never turn around. You know how much shit they got for taking away the headphone jack? They don't care.
Yeah, I know, but that was like this is just adding a charger. This isn't
I think
changing
this is.
the
I
whole
think this is a
thing.
lot bigger than the headphone jack because you could still listen to your music. You could still use Bluetooth headphones,
And they
you could
still gave you
You
headphones.
could still have an adapter which allowed you to use all your other.
And they still gave you headphones. It's not like they weren't giving you headphones.
Hmm.
It's just like, okay, well, this is what we're using now. It's either you use this or you don't.
Yeah.
They're not giving you a charger. Like, It's such a crappy
but
thing
like
to do.
you said, this is bigger than for taking away the headphones. But culturally, it hasn't made that big of an impact. I remember when the headphone jack, everyone was talking about it. Now, honestly, like no one's even talking about taking the charger out. No one's even talking about it. They're getting away with it.
I remember the first AirPods I saw. I thought that guy was a wanker. I thought he was
I
the
remember,
world's biggest
I remember seeing it
wanker.
for the first time. Like, there it is.
Yeah, I'm like this ain't gonna catch on. This. You look like an idiot. This is not gonna catch on. And now, if you look at everyone using headphones, I reckon 5% of people using a smartphone are using wired headphones.
I don't use cord headphones. That's
Yeah.
disgusting. That disgusts me. No, I'm joking.
No,
But no, I haven't used corded headphones in like 3 or 4 years, and I just don't like it. I just don't like having
It's
the
just not
cord there.
convenient.
I've never liked having the cord there. It's just not, and it's so easy to get Bluetooth headphones now. It's like there's just no need. It's not even like a hard thing to get. They're everywhere. It's so common, and they're not even that expensive. Like it's a good investment in my opinion.
Some of them are pretty expensive though. You like
Of
the new
course.
Beats, not Beats Pro. What are they called? The AirPod Pro. What's the new one called? Yeah, the Pros. They're fucking expensive. They're
What the ones I've got?
no.
The new ones?
Not the Power Beats. The literal
New-
like the
yeah,
Apple.
The AirPod 2s, well,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
The really really short wide ones. They come in that really really short wide charging case.
It comes down for me. I always think those Beats and those new like earpods and stuff. Yeah, they might be expensive, but for me, it's worth it 100%. Like I'm like obviously now that we can't leave, but like when I was going to work, to school, to uni, I'm listening to music at least 9 hours plus.
And you
a
want the
day.
good quality. It's not so much
Exactly.
about what it
Oh,
looks like.
no,
'Cause
exactly.
You could get something that looks identical.
Yeah.
But you're hearing muffled sounds. The bass isn't good.
Yeah, no. For me, it's a bit of both. I wanted something that looked well, that was practical, and that was good. And again, we're not sponsored by Beats, yeah, but I love my Beats Pro. Like they're amazing. They're practical when you go to the gym because they've got that thing. Like sometimes I forget that they're in there. Like it sometimes feels like nothing's there, and it's so good because I'm always concerned that I'm gonna lose my headphones, especially when you're on a night out and you bring your headphones. You know, when you're a bit tipsy, it's not uncommon for people to lose their Beats. So for me, having those, that little wire thing wrap around my ear with the Beats Pro was amazing. That was a huge plus. The music sounds good. I reckon it sounds better than the AirPods. At least the latest AirPods at the time when I brought them. I haven't used the new ones that come out. But yeah, for me, it was 100% worth. I think I spent $370 for it. 100% worth it. 9 hours plus a day of music.
But going back to how Apple's running the game, Apple now own Beats. So
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
now
what?
it's all gone
They've
full
owned Beats for a
circle.
while now.
Bro, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's all gone full circle now. So now everything you buy, that's why I feel like Apple they don't really care about whether they got no charger. I think it's a stupid decision, and I think it's going to bite them in the ass.
That's why
But
my-
right now I feel
How
like
is it gonna know? If everyone's gonna buy it. No one's gonna talk back. Everyone's just gonna buy a charger. Nothing's gonna change.
And even if people are like, I'm going to go a different route to Apple, they're going to buy something. Apple's going to buy that company
But
eventually.
you know what sucks?
It's like Disney.
This is what's going to become the norm, though. Like, you watch other phone companies now do the same thing, where they release the phone and you got to buy separately the
But
charger.
that's something I respect about Samsung though. They still have their
they stood their ground.
What's it called?
The
Headphone
headphone
jacks?
jack. Yeah, the Samsung stood their ground.
I've never used mine, but it's still got it there.
Yeah, it's good to know it's there.
Ivan, you going to cop the iPhone 12?
Bro, I got this 8, bro. Remember, I had my 10 when that came out, and I smashed that right away.
You should just be on a phone plan, bro.
Yeah.
Like-
I smashed my phone.
Like, trust me, the phone plan's amazing. Like,
I remember when you got your iPhone X, you were flaunting it around with
That shit's
notifications.
lit,
Like,
bro.
look at this shit. Look at this shit.
I felt so good, bro. I was flexing everywhere.
Back when I had my simple iPhone 5S.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Have you heard if you've been keeping up with like trends and stuff, have you seen like all the Pokemon cards and
Logan Paul?
that being a big thing now? Well, obviously Logan Paul made it super mainstream, but like in terms of like investments and stuff like that, a lot of people are investing in Pokemon cards and spending a lot of cash on
I remember
Pokemon
Max
cards.
Mofo got it mainstream again back in like 2015-ish.
Yeah, I remember that way back too. But it's come back around as well.
It's come back, and it's come back even stronger. It's got like you've got YouTubers now spending like up to like between $10,000 and $20,000 on just booster boxes.
But it's a good hustle. It's a real good hustle.
How much is a box? It's like.
Well, I mean, these like it depends on which one you buy, but some boxes can be like $11,000, $12,000, $13,000.
Pretty sure it starts
Is
at
it-
like 10K.
is
or
it all
you can-
because the
or you
cards
can
are
like
inside
slide
It depends.
You can
What?
like
Is it
fold
all
Yeah,
because
so
the
these
cards are
booster
inside?
boxes are like from back from like 2003, 2001, and they haven't been touched. They're in pristine condition, haven't been touched. So yeah, the boxes and stuff. But a lot of these YouTubers are opening the boxes and then opening them, but obviously keeping the cards and not like destroying the cards. Because I mean, if you pack a Charizard, that thing can go up for $100,000
Holographic
plus.
Charizard, man. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
100,000 plus. So obviously, there's a bit of a gamble to like opening the booster box. Cause you pay 11K if you pack a Charizard, you've just made your money back plus profit. So
Yeah, and Logan Paul just had a live stream where like I think it was like breaking records. He had like 300K live stream watching him like open, and one of the people like he packed a Charizard there, and then the shit went fucking off, bro.
yeah, no, I watched that live stream. Yeah. So the live stream was like for charity and stuff. And then yeah, so what Logan Paul did was Logan Paul brought one of these like original booster boxes, and he paid 200,000. Yeah, 200,000 plus just for the box. Yeah. And that's with GST included. And then what he did was he sold, I think it comes with like, 24 little packs. And he sold those packs separately for 11K to like other YouTubers. And then what he
So
did
did he make profit?
yeah, I think he made profit. Yeah. I mean, what he did on the live stream, was,
Either way, he would have made profit. Just being Logan Paul, having a live stream out there, he would have made profit off it.
but
no
what
matter
he did on the live stream was, so let's just say you wanted to buy one of the packs of Logan Paul, you'd hit him up, you'd send your $11,500 to Logan Paul, and then he opened the pack for you like on the live stream, and then after so he'd open the pack for you. So what he'd do is he'd pull out the names like as if it was like UEFA Champions League, and then he'd be like, oh, and he pulled out names like, okay, so this pack that we're about to open is yours. He'd open
Casper
it.
in it.
That delayed. It took him like 3 seconds.
No, Casper. Yeah, so he'd open. We've done so many of these. I can't believe. Yeah. Anyway, Casper opened it. Yeah, so he'd open it, and all the cards in that pack, he would then obviously send it to you. So yeah, and then obviously like people were donating and stuff, and they were raising money for the charity and all that.
Yeah, so one of his packs, the Charizard was in there. Imagine fucking that was you sitting there, and you packed that fucking Charizard. Now you got 100K.
If you had the disposable money, would you do that? Or would you be like, nah, I'd rather do something that I know is a more steady investment?
I'd invest in property.
But I mean, obviously you can't really get a property for 11K. But let's just say you're comfortable, so you've got enough money. So 11K, even though it's a lot of money, you know that you've got that and you can spend that. But let's just say you don't have 800K disposable right now. You've only got like 50K.
The only way I'd do it is if I was like I had rapper money or like baller money. That's the only way I'd do it, because otherwise I don't know. Like
it's not safe enough. I don't reckon. I don't
no, that's not safe. Like it'll definitely go up in profit. Like there's no way that it won't go up in profit. It's not that it's safe. It's just I don't really want to hold on to a booster box for 10 years in my closet hoping for that thing to go up. You know what I mean? Like not hoping, but just waiting for it. Like I'm just not patient enough.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
It puts shit into perspective though. Because I remember I used to collect AFL cards, and each packet had 9 cards in it, and they'd sell for $2.99 a packet. Yeah. And I remember when I was 8 years old, I collected all these cards, and I filled out like tons of albums. So I'd have like every single card, and then I'm like, I'm going to keep all these cards.
Did you ever do the Herald Sun ones?
Yeah, I think so. They'll like team select or something like that.
I remember like you'd be like, Mom, you got to buy the Herald Sun. Just like, I mean, she already bought the Herald Sun, but I remember she'd buy the Herald Sun, and she'd make sure that because AFL had these things where they give you like a little pack with the Herald Sun, and you'd collect it.
Yeah. But it'd have like I don't know, like 400 cards total. And there'd only be like 3 good cards in all of it. Anyway, you get all these cards, and like, you know what? I'm gonna be smart with this. I'm gonna keep these for another 10 years, and then hopefully they go up in value. Bruh, that shit ain't gone up in value. They're in the bin. I don't think anyone's still got those cards. Everyone's like, no, fuck that.
Bro, we just moved out. I have Sir Riley in fucking like year 7. He put me onto it every day. He's like, Ivan, you need to pack. So I got it. I got the folder. I completely filled out the folder, and I was moving. My mom brought it to me. She's like
the binder for like the collector cards.
Yeah, but which card? Like which?
AFL, like the
AFL
footy cards, yeah. And mom's like, what do we do with this? I was like, I don't know. Should I keep it? Should I throw it out? I kept it. It's in my garage. I didn't bring it here.
That's definitely a bin season,
nothing.
man. That shit ain't going up in value.
Well,
I don't think anyone's gonna once they I can't even think of any old AFL players.
Funny you say that though, but sports cards at the moment are actually like worth something. Sports cards, like collectors are spending a lot on sports cards as well, especially baseball cards.
Yeah,
baseball cards,
MLB cards are crazy.
Like NFL, like a lot of those are actually worth something. But obviously, out of all the card collecting things, Pokemon's at the top. That's huge at the moment. I mean, it's always been decent, but like it's obviously just gaining more and more.
You know what else I used to collect along with Pokemon cards? The cheeky Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, yeah.
I finessed some kid one time in year 2. I remember everyone used to bring their Yu-Gi-Oh cards to school, and there was this one kid. He had this really, really fat deck, and he had some awesome cards in there. I remember he had three of the Exodias. I can't remember which parts they were, but he had 3 Exodia cards. And I was versing him, and I had a decent collection, but I had no strong cards.
Did you ever actually play the game?
Not properly.
Me and my brother would play.
I'd always like want to play the game, but like I just didn't know the rules, and I couldn't be bothered reading every card's ability. And this trap card does that, so
Nah, it's
never really
not
played.
that. It's not that. Have you ever played Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, like, but that's what I mean though. But like
It's like
Yu-Gi-Oh,
that.
think
It's
about how
like
many
that.
trap cards you've got. It's like this trap card sends this monster to the deck and does this. And it's like I really can't be bothered. You gotta mind you, I'm 10. I don't want to be reading all these like stuff. You know what I mean? And no one's gonna want to play me like that.
Whenever I used to play, I never used to play by the rules. I used to make up my own rules, and everyone used to go along with my rules. And my rules would always end up with me getting everyone's deck. Everyone's deck, no matter what. So in the end, I'd end up with like a fat stack of cards. And in real life, like if I was playing by the real rules, I would have lost.
Finesse the heart, bro.
But yeah,
That's some like
man,
Wolf of Wall
fat
Street shit.
stack
You're like Edge, the ultimate opportunist.
Yeah.
Taking this shit. Like, I'm gonna take this, bro.
before he snapped his neck.
Oh, but then he came back, just like Danny. Wait, Edge and Danny Bryan both retired from snapping their neck, and both came back.
Yeah, but I mean, Edge's comeback's not a real comeback, man. This man came back just for ratings.
Yeah, that's true. But like, he was allowed to wrestle. Like, he was clinically proven.
No, he was not allowed to wrestle, man. he was not allowed to
No,
wrestle.
wait, no, man came back in the Royal Rumble. Yeah, didn't.
That was all for ratings, man.
Yeah, it was though. It was.
Did you ever collect Bakugan?
No, I used to what's it called? I
I
used
had
to
a
buy
few.
the little toys, like the little magnetic toys.
That's it. That's the one, Bakugan.
Oh, so there were no cards to that.
Oh no, there were cards to it, but like
No,
yeah,
there weren't cards, were
Yeah,
there?
there were.
Oh,
There
yeah.
were.
I
So
never-
you
I-
roll the
I- I-
Bakugan on the card, and then the thing explains.
I never used to have the cards, but I had like the little magnetic toys, and then I'd put them on like around the school. We used to have like metal bars and shit like that. Not like a prison, but we had like metal bars, obviously, for like.
Yeah, I know. What did you say?
But I went to
the
a
metal
shady
bars.
primary school, man. I got some dark times.
Oh
No,
my
but like I remember I'd always put like the little toys on the bars, and I'd stick to it, and like they'd pop open, and like that's how we used to play.
You know what? I never used to play that because I mean I wanted to collect Bakugan, but that was so expensive. They're like $30-$40 for like one little like toy and like the cards and stuff. And my dad, like I didn't have any money then, so my dad would be like, "Yeah, that's not happening. Like I'm not spending $40 like every week buying you that because like I wasn't like spoiled." So like I didn't get like just okay, whatever you want sort of things. Like yeah, that never happened.
I was more thrifty. Like if I had something really good in my lunch and I saw someone had something that I really wanted, I'd be like, "Look, if I bring you this every day for 5 days, can I have your toy?" And I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, why not? Fuck it." So then I'd end up with a whole bunch of shit that really I didn't pay for, and I won out in the end because
What
really.
did you trade? What had the highest value in your lunchbox?
Do you remember Munchables, where you'd have like it'd be like a box, it'd have like little pieces of cheese, crackers, like
Yeah,
little
I
pieces
hated
of
that.
ham,
I hated that. I always liked the you remember that
the Go-Gurt?
the chocolate
with
yogurt.
like the ape on it, and then you had like the
with
banana one, had the
monkey.
snake.
Yeah.
man.
Oh, dude, I always loved those. But do you remember the ones where you had the M&Ms and you'd mix the
Yes.
chocolate yogurt with
Oh
M&Ms?
my God, yes.
That's the money breaker. That's the money breaker. That is the money breaker. Ivan, what about you? What was like what would you put up there? Because
Yeah, food was currency. What would be the top currency?
because back in primary school, food was currency. Food is currency in primary school. That's what you trade.
It's like when we were in
It's
prison.
okay.
How like you get all
It's
these.
like,
things.
you've got those Allen snakes. I'll give you my shapes for those Allen snakes. Like that's how we used to roll. That's how kids roll at school.
That's facts. I remember I was like, "Hey, let's go to the bakery. I'll get you something."
Yeah,
That's highest. That's like high school. But in primary school, what do we say? Like what's the $100 bill in high?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I reckon those Yogos.
I reckon
The
the
Yogos are
Yogos, yeah.
definitely up top.
fruit roll. The
Oh,
what
the
are those?
fruit. Yeah.
Those were high up there too.
Do you mean the ones the really thin ones that would wrap around a lot, or like the ones that look like an old map?
The ones with like the white bit of plastic and you pull it off. Those.
Bro, I love from the tuck shop. You get the fucking icy poles. You know this, like the super soaker things, The super, they're straw. It's like
Oh, did they used to have like a whistle thingy on it?
no, the one. It's like you chop the top off and then
Like
you
a
push
Super
it up.
Duper.
And it's a super duper.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Super
what I
Duper.
meant.
My
Super
primary
Dupers,
school, we
bro.
used to sell like heaps of stuff, like the Milo ice cream and like just the normal paddle pops. And
My primary school went from you used to be able to get those like really cheap like the typical like popsicle in America. Yeah, we used to sell those for 20 cents. Then it went to 50 cents. Then it went to $1. $1 a popsicle, and can you imagine?
Bro, they're bankrupting these little kids.
I was
yeah,
in
the
a small
school makes-
primary
the
school. There
school
was
makes
only
bank on.
yeah, I went to a small. There was only 250 kids, but can you imagine? Let's just say only 80% of those kids got an icy pole. $200 from just one day's worth of sales, and they would have spent what? Like for 200 icy poles, it would have been maybe $20. And they made $200.
Were they the good like icy poles?
No,
or
they
just,
were
like,
not.
The Coles.
They were not. They were always just
Budget.
you know the ones that had the flavors. They weren't
Yeah.
names. They were just colors. So like there'd be orange flavor or like red flavor. Yeah. No, there was literally no taste to it. It was just it tasted like red or it tasted like green.
You know what I used to like in my lunchbox? You know the string cheese, the one where you pull it off.
Oh, yeah, bro, that's just lit. That sends me back.
Okay, I mean, there's always those two kids in school. Were you that kid that had like a lunchbox stacked with a bunch of chocolates and chips and lollies, or were you that kid that just had like an apple and a sandwich?
My lunchbox wasn't too stacked, but I'd barely eat any of my food because my food would always go to other kids and I'd get their toys. So like, I wasn't too fussed.
What about you, Ivan? Were you that kid that had the stacked lunchbox or the?
Nah, I'd always try to finesse the fucking canteen somehow.
There was no canteen in Mary Mac.
Yeah, there was the tuck shop.
What's this tuck shop? Tuck
You
shop.
could
Speak
get
of
like
it.
you could order shit. You get like pizzas and shit. Not like nice like. I mean
Wait,
like the
what?
small ones. Or like sausage rolls basically, and ice creams. I just finesse ice creams, bro. I just live off those super dupers, bro.
The Super Dupers.
Yes, sir.
Man, those were the days. Those were the days back in school.
I don't even think my school had a proper tuck shop. Like we had icy poles at recess, but I think we had this thing where once a week you could put an order in. It was like lunch orders, but it was you only got a choice of 2 foods every week, and every week
we
it
had
would
lunch
change.
orders too. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like,
lunch orders. I remember that shit.
that was like maybe like once a month, and that was like once a month. We'd have those like Subway lunch orders or like sausage rolls and meat pies, and you put your little order in, and
The Subway days were elite.
you get them in and stuff, and it's all because of the fundraising committee. Which the fundraising committee is literally just a bunch of moms that they've got boring lives at home, and they just love to communicate at school, and they're just like, oh, did you know what I mean? Like that's what it was. Tell me, what's it?
Soccer moms.
It's the soccer moms, yeah.
Do you remember like those little Cadbury boxes that you had to bring home? You have to sell for $2, like $2 a lolly.
They made us sell this shit. They literally give you a box of 200 chocolates and be like, go sell them.
Yeah, knock on people's door, sell these chocolates, and bring back the money so we can buy a fucking playground.
We had to physically go and knock on everyone's door and sell this shit. Like, that's what the school made us do. I can't believe that. Do you reckon that would ever happen now? Surely that doesn't happen now.
No, it still does happen now. It still happens now. But I never used to knock on people's door. You know what would happen in my household? Because they used to give it 1 per household. So the oldest kid would get it. So I bring them back home, and me and all my siblings would just eat all the chocolates. And then my dad would have to put like $100 bill and pay for it. And he'd be cursing. Because imagine there's like $50. There's like 100 chocolates or 50 chocolates, $1 each. He'd have to put like a $50 note.
The
$100
boxes are at least like 150 each.
But at least I reckon $100. But yeah, we'd eat all the chocolates, and then like he'd be cursing because he'd have to put $100 note in there.
Can you imagine the school like you bring back the just like the money, and everyone's got this like sack full of coins,
Yeah.
and you're that one kid that just got an envelope with $100 note in there.
My
'cause-
dad was cursing, like, cause I mean, like, I remember, that shit would be gone in like a week. Like we'd just polish it, 5 of us.
But we were only allowed to buy 1 chocolate from our boxes. Like I feel like that's sort of fair because we didn't really have any money, so not like like the kids,
Yeah.
like we didn't get any money. So mum and dad, they'd be like, look, if you want a chocolate, you can have it, but we're not going to buy you the whole thing. You take a chocolate, we'll buy it for you. Then you got to do what the school says. Go sell them, do whatever. And I'm like, I reckon that was fair. Mum used to help us out as well. She used to take them to work and sell them at work.
Yeah.
But yeah, we weren't.
Bro, I was the one that was knocking on everyone's fucking door, bro. I'm looking at these memories. This shit's traumatizing me. I've met so many like old people in their underwear. What the fuck?
Ivan, you're a pro at that. Don't even lie, man. I know you've been doing some Jehovah Witness shit, man. You've been knocking on them and be like, Christ, like, come join the church, the Christ, in your little altar boy uniform. So I know you were pro at that.
Exactly. You know I'm knocking on those doors. You know I'm making these sales, bro. I'm doing this shit.
How many people did you convert? Ivan, how many people did you convert?
Oh, to the church.
To the church.
Of Scientology.
In your altar
That's
boy.
me,
No,
man.
in your altar boy uniform.
I sold a lot. Like I'd always go like, I'd always, like James and his sister Emily.
Yeah.
So we'd get like, if you have a cute girl there, that's instant ban. That's like Girl Scout cookies. You can sell, and that's so easy to sell. Everyone's gonna buy
Everyone
from
loves Girl Scout cookies because the Girl Scout cookies taste nice, not because the little girls.
Yeah,
look
man, that
fit.
was a bit weird.
Yeah,
that
man,
was
that
a
is
bit
really
weird.
weird.
It's a combo of both. It's like you're walking
No,
down the
it's
street.
not. These girls
It's
are
like the
eight.
lemonade
Oh my
stand.
God.
It's like cute little kids.
No, these girls are 8, man.
Don't stop making this
These girls
weird.
are 8, bro.
How-
Yeah, I mean, if you're knocking on anyone's door, yeah, with a primary school girl, and they're like, oh fuck, I need to buy these
Casper,
chocolates
you-
because there's a
you
primary
heard that,
school
yeah?
girl there. Yeah, man, that's not.
This man
that's
literally
not
said
right.
it's a combination of both. The fact that they look cute and
It
the
is.
fact. No, it's not. It's
Look, if you're in primary school and you think they look cute, that's a different story. But if you're selling chocolates to adults and they're like, oh, she looks cute,
which you are,
then that's
'cause
not right.
you're not selling it to other kids. You're selling it to
Yeah.
adults. So Girl Scout cookies
No,
are famous.
adults like if there's a grandma opens a door and she's like, oh, look at these cute little kids. That's not weird at all.
Grandmas think anyone looks cute. If even if you look like a
Exactly.
potato, they're gonna be like, oh, you look cute.
Exactly. That's my point. You agree with my point.
But then you don't need a cute girl.
Yeah, you definitely don't need a
No,
cute
well,
girl.
I'm telling you, before I knocked on these doors myself, and I knocked with her, and I'm telling you, the sales go up. And
Although I do feel like if a bunch of kids knocked on doors and tried to sell chocolates compared to us three going to doors and be like,
yeah,
buy
can you
our
imagine like
chocolates.
three
Can you imagine?
20-year-olds?
Yeah. Please, we need the money. Please buy
We
my
need the money.
chocolate.
You know what used to happen at my primary school? So we'd always have like an Easter raffle thing, yeah? So basically, everyone's class would bring chocolates like in a box. And then like the class that bought the most Easter chocolates would win a prize. I don't know, they'd get like casual clothes or something. They'd win a little prize. So basically the school, what the school would do is they'd take all the chocolates and they'd do an Easter raffle. So you bring your tickets home, you buy the tickets, and then they do the raffle on like a Friday afternoon or something. But that shit was rigged. That shit was
always rigged.
No. I know 100%. Like I'm not even speculating now. These are facts. I'm speaking cold facts. I want to put my primary school on blast.
Listen up, man. Listen up.
These are cold hard facts, yeah. So no, it was 100% rigged. It was more rigged than the NBA, more rigged than WWE. This shit was rigged. So basically, my mum, I think for 2 years, helped out on the fundraising committee. So what would happen is the fundraising committee, the night before on the Thursday, they would do the raffle after school. And basically what the principal said was every like mum on the fundraising committee, your kid was guaranteed a chocolate. Your kid was guaranteed a chocolate no matter what. Yeah, you're getting guaranteed a chocolate. So sometimes like, I always knew it was rigged because like, I don't know, someone's mum would be high up on the fundraising committee and their kid would be pull top 3 or top 2. And I'm like, that's crap. And then when my mum was on there, yeah, it's rigged.
Imagine little Timmy. Yeah, he's only got $15 to his name. Like he gets like a dollar allowance every fortnight or whatever. And he's like, this $15, you know what? I'm gonna use it for this raffle. He puts all his money in, and he's like, I really want that prize.
Yeah.
Just for the fuck that.
How bad is that? They rigged the Easter holiday.
And it's not just like it's a
What did
raffle.
you
It's a
get?
kids raffle.
What did you win?
I got like a couple of Easter eggs, but my mom only did it like for 2 years. So you got to imagine, I was in like primary school. You're in there for like what, 7 years? Like for 5 years, I'd never win anything because I'm not gonna swear, but they rigged it.
I remember one of my mates won an acoustic guitar one time for the Christmas raffle. I don't know who donated an acoustic guitar. I think we're just from the music room, and then they're just like, "Fuck, we don't have enough prizes."
I know who donated it.
Oh no, don't say it. Please,
No. I think I need to tune this one, boys.
How crappy is that? Who rigs an Easter egg? People donate the Easter eggs in
that's
good
so
faith.
especially because Easter is like a religious thing, right? And then you're doing this, you're rigging this a religious thing. That's
But I hate that. That especially a kids thing.
yeah, it's kids. That's so.
How
mean.
corrupt is that?
I mean, if you're an adult, it sucks. But I mean,
But like,
I don't
Shane,
think it'd be
you
as
put your
deep.
money on this raffle. Like, that's not
Yeah,
you,
because
bro. Get the fuck
if you're an
outta here.
adult, chances are, I reckon 99% of adults or parents are working. Yeah. So like, if you're spending your money on it, you're actually earning money to put on it. kids don't earn money. So all their money, like unless their parents are paying for their raffle tickets, which I think my parents did, which we were lucky, but I'm sure not all parents would. I reckon some parents would have been like, look, if you want this, you have to put your own money in. Imagine having your own money that you don't earn. Yeah, so you have to collect from birthdays, from visits to grandma, from anything. You're saving all this money to use in a raffle, and then the school's like, you know what, fuck you. We're just gonna take your money and we're gonna give gifts to Karen's son. Bro, fuck that.
That's horrible. And the thing is, we were a Catholic primary school. Surely there's some like Bible verse or something that says that you shall not rig.
Bro, I'm telling you right now. All Catholic shit it's all a money making scheme. I don't want to go into it in this one, but
Isn't it all about touching
I reckon
boys?
it's all a scheme.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Shit.
And again on the primary school thing, yeah. At my primary school, down ball was elite. I was elite at down ball. I was elite at down ball.
If you were good at down ball, you were the popular kid.
I was
you were
elite
the
at down
king
ball.
of the fucking
Like
yard.
pull up on me anywhere on any down ball court. I'll smack anyone up. I'm elite. At
I
that
think
shit.
I think we all have to have like a championship. You were the
Definitely.
king of Emmaus. You would have been the king of Mary Mac.
Yeah, true. We're gonna go.
we have to.
Remember after Shisha, we went to like the park. We were in
we
the
played
car
soccer
park,
down ball.
and we were playing soccer down
That
ball
was
for like
big
a
too.
solid hour.
That was big
She was
too.
lit. That was a good night.
I was good
bro.
at down ball, bro. Like I was.
Literally a solid hour before playing soccer.
Did you guys used to use tennis balls, or do you used to use those high bounce rubber balls?
Oh no, the down balls.
The down balls, but like obviously sometimes like the kid that had the down ball wasn't there, so you'd have to use the tennis ball.
The tennis ball is shit.
Tennis balls
because
are whack,
it
especially
starts off
wet
having
tennis
a decent
balls.
bounce, and then
Dude.
it's like an inch off the floor, and you literally can't get it up any higher.
Wet tennis balls, but I like it though. It's sort of like in real tennis. It's like when you play on clay and when you play on grass. It's like it's different. You gotta adjust your game to the settings.
Did
So
you guys have
same with down ball.
Did you have the asphalt down ball courts, or was it like the turf down ball courts?
Nah, our school was rich. We had the good courts. Like
we started off with the like the tar, like literally like the roads and asphalt, but just with like a little bit of paint on it. And then we upgraded to, we had like a running track, and we had some like artificial turf.
was yours a Catholic primary school?
It was a Catholic primary school, but I mean, I don't think anyone there was Catholic. So
You just literally all you need is concrete, and you're just in the middle of the concrete lines. You can just have 4 squares, you know.
Yeah, of course. No, I love that. Damn,
But
primary
yeah.
school. Primary school was a laugh. I love that stuff.
actually, I wish I could go back to primary school, okay. Like, I know we talked about this last week.
Yeah,
but
we had literally had this exact convo.
You know. I don't know if you realized it, Casper, but every time you tell a story, you always refer to little Timmy.
Little
Who's Lil
Timmy's
Timmy?
elite. Little
Who's Lil
Timmy.
Timmy?
You need our truth, little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. Little Jimothy. From now on, all stories Person X is gonna be Little Jimothy.
Alright, so I got the Reddit story of the week.
Bro, no, I ain't having that, man. I ain't having that.
It's not a good transition.
We ain't going from Little Jimothy to, hey guys, so I got the Reddit story of the week.
Reddit story of the week.
Look, man, Iris does this every week. I'm doing it this
Yeah,
week.
but I think this is the last time you're doing it, because that was the shittest transition.
Sorry, bro. It was my first time, bro.
No,
Don't
you did it
expect
last
me to
week
be
too.
Michael Jordan
He did it
on my
last
first
week.
time. Come on.
This ain't his first time. He did it last week
This ain't
too.
my first rodeo. Okay, let's go. All right, so basically, this is from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for cussing and getting drunk in front of my kindergarten students?
Yes, straight up, yes.
Okay, so let's read this because I'm a kindergarten teacher. I teach in person. Last weekend was my birthday. I went to a restaurant with a couple friends for an outdoor dining. While we were there, 2 mums came in with their children and are seated behind me. I recognize them as students in my class. They say hi to me and I say hi back, and then we don't interact any further. Through dinner, I'm just enjoying my time with my friends. I have a few glasses of wine and I get a little tipsy, not rowdy or obnoxious or anything. I'm just conversing normally with my friends, occasionally using cuss words like fuck or shit or damn, not excessively, just the way some people would in everyday conversation. Maybe a little more than I would have if I went tipsy, but she wasn't speaking loudly or anything. Then one of the mums came up to her and reminds her that, look, my kids are right there, you're students to my kids, and that you shouldn't be drinking and cursing in front of them. And then she said, I'm a teacher, but right now I'm off the clock. I'm not a teacher right now. Like, I'm allowed to have my free time. Like, you should leave if you're uncomfortable with this. So then she's like, full goes Karen mode. It's like, I'm gonna tell the principal, I'm gonna like just dub you in. She's like, whatever, man. So they leave, and then she goes to work, and then she gets called into the principal, and the mum is there. And then the principal So the principal.
Today,
We'll
Georgia.
cut this out. We'll cut this out. So yeah, so the principal asked for her side of the story, and she explained exactly what happened. And the teacher, and the principal said she was off the clock. Like, sorry, I can't do anything, and she got away with it. Basically, I feel like. What do you guys reckon?
That's the way it should be, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I mean, how you gonna? Yeah.
You can't like marshmallow the entire every single person in
where's
the
the
world
proof
because
as
a
well?
kid could be there.
I feel like if she filmed it, then you could be in some serious trouble. But there's no proof. It's just her word against.
But
Yeah,
the
but
other ladies.
the teacher like owned up to it. She said, "I did do it, but I'm off the clock." So it's
From the sounds of that story as well, it wasn't like she was slandering anyone or she was
Is it just
talking.
the one mom that was there with the one kid?
so it was like two mums with two kids, but then the one mum came up, and the one mum was out.
Okay, yeah.
I was friends with not really a kindergarten teacher, but one of my primary school helpers. We were family friends with. So, I mean, we wouldn't have dinners with them or anything like that, but we used to see them at church. We'd see them a fair bit around. So I knew their personality. Yeah. Granted, they wouldn't swear in front of me, but that was just their personality. So I think if you're off the clock and like one of your students happens to be there, I mean, it's not like a great look on you, but I don't think you're an arsehole for swearing or for, I mean... That's just my look on it. But
I mean, I wouldn't say you're an asshole necessarily, but I mean, if I was in that situation, like, I'd just wrap it up and move to a different restaurant. Like, I wouldn't be swearing in front of the kid and stuff. I've got more class than that. I think it's unclassy. I think technically, you're off the clock and all that, but it's like, at the end of the day, you are a role model to these kids. So I feel like she should have held herself with a bit more respect and pride and left. Don't be swearing and stuff. Yeah, okay, you're off the clock, but like, again, you're a role model to these kids. Don't be acting like that in front of them.
I gotta say, if I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, I looked up to my prior kindergarten teachers like angels. I know if I saw them swearing and drunk as shit, that would freak me out.
Exactly. And not only that, but like, I'm a male. So imagine that's like one of my male students. In primary school, there's not a lot of male teachers. So you look up to the male teachers like they're like, like, you just look up to them.
I actually never had a male primary school teacher.
Oh, I loved it. I had a male primary school teacher and I looked up to him. Shout out Mr. Wilson. I love that man. Like, I looked up to him because, you're in a school where it's like mainly women teacher and, that one male teacher, you look up to him. He's a lad. So I think in that situation, if you can't be swearing and looking like that, you need to hold just, when you move into that profession as a teacher, there is a sort of level of duty that you need to have around your students. Yeah, you're off the clock, but it doesn't matter. It's like if you're an AFL player. Yeah, okay, the AFL season's over, but you're not gonna. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're in that industry,
like hearing your response, I changed my answer a little bit because, like, I never had a male teacher. Like, my teachers weren't really role models to me. Like, for me, role models. I didn't really have my first big teacher role model until I was in year 10. Yeah. And that was part of the Night Owl program. I'm not sure if we've talked about that, but we definitely will in a podcast because that was a huge part of my life. But I think initially the only problem I had with that was that once the parent was like, "Look, little Jimothy's here. Can you just watch what you're saying a bit because or just watch the way you're acting a bit because he is one of your students." Then I feel like maybe she could have not censored herself completely, but being more conscious about it. Like, sometimes things just slip, and I feel like being a kid, that the amount of swear words I heard in my household, especially having WOG parents, the amount of curse words I heard, and the amount of shit that cannot be like, I can't say on mic today. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I heard, but. That doesn't mean that I think my parents are bad people. It doesn't mean that I think any differently of them. I just think sometimes things slip. But that's just my take on it.
It depends on the kids because I had ethnic parents as well, so I definitely heard all those swear words, and I wouldn't have been affected by it. But like still, like, what I mean, as a young kid, if you see like a teacher like that swearing, it's sort of, you know what I mean, like.
And some kids are highly moldable. Like some kids, they take their outside life or their home life and they use that as an excuse to do certain things. Like, you never know what someone could be going through. Yeah. So a lot of times, the slightest action could cause a great reaction, like a terrible reaction. Yeah. But yeah. What about you, Ivan? What's your take on that? Are they the asshole?
Mine was the opposite. To this day, like me and my mum would never swear. There was never any swearing in my household. So I know if I was a kid and I saw my teacher, that would freak me out. But if I was a teacher, because I get it, she was drunk, and when you're drunk, you kind of let loose. You don't really give a fuck anymore. So I can understand why. And like she didn't get into trouble with it. I don't think she should have gone into trouble, but I think morally I would have just tried to not do that.
Yeah, I don't think she should have lost her job or anything, but morally it's wrong.
What about a caution? Do you think a caution's in action there? Like if the principal's like, look, you got to be more aware if this happens again.
Yeah, well that's what he did. Like after the mum left, he was like, don't do this again, like blah blah blah.
But do you think that's just? Do you think that's the right way it should have gone down, or do you think?
Because if you let him off, if you don't let her in trouble, then just give her a caution. That's not a big deal.
What about you, Iris?
I think, maybe a slap on the wrist. But
she keeps her job?
Yeah, keep her job for sure. Like, I don't think she should lose her job over that. I guess the fact that there's no video of it, or it wasn't put on social media or anything. You mean you really can't really take any action, because again it's her word against.
True, because it's completely different. Imagine it blows up and everyone on the internet's complaining about it. Then
because then everyone's gonna regard that kindergarten with the swearing teacher.
Yeah, no, 100%. If that was on the internet, you would have lost your job. 100%, you would have lost your job.
It's true, the amount of shit that isn't recorded that we miss.
And it's sad that society's like that as well, because right now. And it's sort of rebuts my own stance on this, because it's sort of sad how to me it was normal. Like when you were saying the story, it was not I didn't think there was anything bad on it, but that's just the way for me I feel like society is. And that's sort of a sad thing in my opinion.
What do you think society is like?
I feel like it's. Although it's a marshmallow society in the sense of, we try and protect kids. Like now kids can't go to the park. Like they can't ride their bike to the park like they did in the 80s. They can't go on the monkey bars without having their parents stand underneath them. But it's also normal to have, Gary at the bar or at the pub, yarning and swearing while, you have another family sitting maybe 5 meters away from them.
Yeah.
I always say, I think I was low-key born in the wrong generation. I would have loved to have grown up in the 80s. I'd rather grow up in the 80s than live what we live
100%, man. I feel like right now
I low-key hate how life is right now.
Everyone thinks that about every generation, bro.
Not a lot. I reckon a lot of people in our generation don't think
I think our generation is brought up on fear. That everything that we're taught is based around, but this could happen.
Yeah, the media is definitely
Yeah, whereas I feel like in the 80s there was a lot less like that. Literally, kids could ride their bike 5Ks down the road to go to the park and meet up with friends, and they'll be able to just chill outside, do whatever they want, ride their bike another K another way.
You can still do that now. What are you talking about?
If I said to my mum, hey, me, Billy, and Tim want to go for a bike ride, she'd be like, okay, make sure you're back in 5 minutes, or take Renee with you, so
I think that's an overgeneralization, saying kids now don't go out for bike rides with their friends alone.
No, but
I did that. That's still a thing.
What I mean by the 80s, what I'd rather live grow up in the 80s is
you want to do the cocaine?
Strippers and cocaine for the boys.
No. You don't have none of these iPhones, none of this technology. If you wanted to talk to your friend, you'd have to go see that friend, or call them on those landline phones.
Real.
Yeah, you wouldn't be using your iPhone. You wouldn't be using. If you want to talk to a girl, you go and take her out on a date. You go talk to her in person. I would rather do that.
You ain't sending no dick pics, just straight up.
But I'd rather communicate with people in real life. That's why when I talk to
that, it's so easy to romanticize that, but you don't understand how good we have it now. And when you go back,
I reckon we definitely have it good.
Imagine me and you have a plan, right? We're going out, and then it's okay, I'll see you today at the front of the cinemas at 4 p.m. They're like, okay, and then we have to meet there. Imagine something happens, I can't go. We can't just text, say, hey, let's wait half an hour. You have to wait there in the call. You're just waiting.
Everything has its pros and cons. I would rather that though. I would rather live in the 80s and not have that.
It's just so easy to romanticize it.
I feel like humans are getting complacent. As time goes on, we're getting more and more complacent, because, things, nothing, in the 80s, just because people didn't have phones, the world didn't stop.
Yeah.
People were still able to meet up. They were still able to do everything that we do. It's just that now we have the added security that if something happens, it's a lot easier to communicate that, something's happened. Doesn't mean that we couldn't communicate it back in the day without a phone.
Yeah, exactly. Life was better in the 80s, like straight up. Like I don't care. Like
Bro,
don't,
the
like,
grass is always greener, bro.
No, I just think that you just love all this technology shit too much. Like
No,
life was
it's
way
just-
better in the 80s.
No,
trust.
I'm appreciative of where I am now because in any generation you don't understand how good we have it. Like all the little shit, and
And you don't want to
understand
think
shit
what
you
ifs as
never
well.
realize.
You don't want to think what ifs in your life. You don't want to be like.
Exactly, yeah.
But having said that, I do think it would have been a lot cooler to live
It'd
in
be
the
a
80s.
lot
but
better.
my
I'd
dream-
sacrifice that. I would take all those.
my
little
dream
things.
era was the 60s. I love the hippie shit. I would love to have lived there, but there's no point ever wishing about it because that's not gonna.
No, I'm
and
not
plus,
wishing that,
All
but
the
I'm ju-
shit like you don't understand. Like it's so cool to say, yeah, I want to live with that. Yeah. Anyway, you understand my point.
No, don't keep going.
Yeah, this man just stopped talking mid-sentence.
Yeah.
That was so open-ended the way you ended it.
I feel like, yeah, just.
I reckon we just gotta leave it there and let the viewers decide what you're trying to say. 'Cause I've got no
I'm
idea where
done.
this
I
is going.
fucking dropping the mic, bro. I'm done, bro.
Dropping the mic and beat argument. Come on, five.
Well, in that case, I was reading up on this story the other day, and it was about this girl and her parents. They were married, and when the mum conceived the child, the dad's like, "Look, I'm not ready for this. I'm out. I'm not doing any of this." And he gave up his parenting rights. And I'm not too sure. It didn't say whether it was an amicable divorce or what it was, but he just gave up his parenting rights. He's like, "Look, this is your child
Were
now.
they just
I'm
dating?
out." Sorry.
Were the like two dating the?
They were married.
They were married,
Yeah, and then
okay.
he's like, "Look, I'm not ready for this. I'm out." Anyway, so when the girl was born, her mum had photos of her dad. The mum would tell her the dad's name.
Oh, so
but
they
that's it.
divorced when she found.
Yeah, so she
was
wasn't even
pregnant.
born yet when they were divorced. Like as soon as she was conceived, the dad's like, "Look, I can't do this. I'm out." But yeah, so the daughter knows his name. She knows what he's look like, but she's never met him. Like he's gone. He's out. He's out of the picture. And then 30 years later, the girl works in a healthcare center. And she's looking at the roster, not the roster. She's looking at the timetable to say who's coming in, and she sees this name pop up for tomorrow, and it's her dad's name, and she's freaking out. She's like, "This might be the first time I meet my dad. I don't know what
Right,
to
and
do."
she works at a healthcare center.
Yeah, so she works at a healthcare center. She's like, "I don't know what to do. Do I rock up? Do I help him? What do I do?" Anyway, the day comes, and her dad walks in the door, and she looks at him. She's like, "That's my dad. That's exactly what he looks like." And the dad has no idea it's her. So the dad walks up to her and he's like, "Look, I need to see Dr. X." So the girl takes her to Dr. X, and ends up being in an office next door. She walks back to her main office, gets some papers, does what she has to do, and then the way it turns out, one of her roles is she has to take files from her own from the office that she's in to the office next door. As she takes the files, her dad's walking out the door to the street. So she leaves the door open for him. The dad says thank you and walks out, and they never see each other again. In that situation, do you feel like you would have acted the exact same way as the girl?
No.
Or do you think you would have said something?
I would've said something.
100%.
Yeah.
I would have said something.
I
don't
could
think-
not-
What
say something.
could you say in that situation?
I'd say I'm your daughter.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, 100%. I'd just be like,
I'd live with regret the rest of my life if I
Yeah,
never
and
said
you'd always
anything.
have a lot of. I'd have a lot of questions. I'd want to know why you left. Why, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd have so many questions and stuff. 100%. There's no way I could not say anything.
To me, I feel like I wouldn't want to know the answers to that. I'd
true.
much rather prefer
That's a good
knowing
point.
that my dad, he just wasn't ready to have me yet. He made a mistake, that they weren't prepared. And I'd rather just think, my dad's a really good guy and this happened. Whereas it could well turn out that, he says exactly why and he could be a jerk. It could be the shittest reason ever. And I wouldn't want to know that. I'd rather fabricate the entire story and think of my dad as a hero.
No, I would want to know that because he's not a hero. He left you. I think that's a coward move, no matter what. So I would want to know the story. Like I probably would already have a negative image of him. Like I'm never gonna think you're a hero. You left me. You left my mom. Do you know what I mean? And I don't. For me, it's not. It's more just getting like satisfaction. I want to know why. I want to hear your story. I think he has the right to tell me your story, and then I can make my mind up. But I think, yeah, I'd want to hear the story from him. And it's not the fact that I'm like, Yeah, I just want satisfaction, because for me, if I was in that situation, my mum would be more than enough. Like, that's the only parent that I need. Like, she had to sacrifice. She raised me. Shout out to all the single mums out there that are raising kids.
Not just single. I reckon just single parents is full stop.
Single, yeah, my bad. Single parents. Shout out to all the single parents out there raising kids, because they're the true heroes. I swear to God. For me, it's more just satisfaction, and I want to know, because, like I said, my mum in that situation was the only parent and more enough parent than I ever needed.
I would just like to clarify. Yeah. Hero is the wrong word to use, but I mean, like, you know, like I'd rather paint, even if it's completely fabricated, I'd rather paint a good picture of him. Yeah,
a good picture of him. Yeah, no, I'd need to know. Like, how could you live life not knowing the answer? For me, that'd kill me.
Do you think there's any right situation, like no matter how crazy it could be, do you think there's any right situation for anyone to walk out? Whether it be the child's born yet or the child's not ready, going to be born, do you think there's any situation where, like, look,
you're saying
it's completely
out of
justified?
all the humans that have existed, I'm sure there's been a few times where those justified.
But can you think of any? Like, can you
think of one?
Right now, I don't think I can.
I don't think that. How can you leave and then, like, just let the mother raise the kid?
So that's why I wouldn't want to know, because
there's a lot of families where, you know, you say, for example, like, hi, I'm your aunt, and they go your whole life thinking it's your aunt, where it's actually your mum, and then, like, your sister raises you or something, because that's way better, because you're not prepared to have a family. That happens quite common.
But do you still think that the parents justified in leaving the picture? So in that case, they haven't actually left the picture. They've just given up physical parenting rights. So they've given up their title. They haven't actually stopped what they're doing. They're still caring for you.
So what's the situation like that? So lady has a kid and then pretends to be the kid's auntie.
Yeah, instead of their mum.
But where's the father?
No, that was just a random example, but, like, stuff happens like that.
But
that's, like, okay.
In that situation, I think that's all right, because they're not actually.
No, but that's irrelevant.
Supporting role.
Wasn't the question because in that situation the father is still left? It's not just the auntie and uncle raising the kid. The dad's left. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one's doing that and pretending to be an auntie, and the father's still in the picture. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there is. I can't think of a situation where it's okay for the father to leave. Obviously, if you're leaving to, like, provide for your family, but you're still in the kid's life. But if you leave the kid, cut all ties with him, you don't talk to the kid, you don't know the kid, and you just let the poor, like, woman you've knocked up raise the kid.
What if it's a different sort of token? So, like, the dad still walked out, but the reason why the mum's conceived is because she's been raped. And then from there, it's a pretty heavy topic, yeah. But because the mum's been raped, and then once she has the kid, she's like, "Look, I can't have anything to do with you because you bring up too much sorrow, too much pain." So she gives the child up.
Why keep the kid? Like, why not get an abortion?
Well, because some girls want to keep the kid.
But
if you want to keep the kid, you're not going to just let the kid.
To be fair, abortions aren't free as well.
Yeah, I know.
Like, and in some situations, some religions, you just can't do it. So
yeah. It's a really touchy subject. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I feel like, to me, that's probably the only situation where, even though I still feel like there could be other ways to get around it, I don't feel like they've done anything wrong in that situation.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess that's fine. I guess
that's pretty much the only reason I can not reason. That's the only situation I can think of.
Yeah. But what about you, Ivan? What do you think? Like, the father, it's more, let's just more say the father leaving the kid, because that's what happens in most cases. Obviously, there's some cases when the mother leaves.
Yeah.
But in most cases, it's
the
father.
Obviously, if the father leaves, that's bad. And that's a bad thing. But I'm just saying, I'm sure there's times where there's this scenario where it would be the right thing to happen. I'm sure out of all the times humans have happened, that's happened once or twice. So obviously, like, every time a dad leaves, that's a terrible thing, and that person is bad. Yeah. Do you see Elon Musk change the price of the Tesla Model 3 to $69,420?
How did we go from something so deep to just like Elon Musk?
That's what I love about Fiverr. This man doesn't give a single fuck.
That's the best way to swap over.
I love you, Fiverr.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he literally changed the price of the car. So now, if you want to buy it,
how much was it?
What, $69,420?
Like, $80K or something.
So he dropped the price just for a
meme. Yeah.
Just for bro, that's funny as. This guy's a lad.
Yeah, literally, this cunt's always doing shit like that.
He's a lad. Literally. I didn't see that at all.
The only thing that would make that better is if you had it, like, the sticker on his car of him holding the joint in, like, probably the Joe Rogan podcast.
Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah. Boys, you know what time? This is honestly my new favorite segment of the week, more than Thingo now.
More than the Reddit story of the week.
You know, you are Reddit story of the week. Will always have a soft spot in my heart.
That was the OG big segment.
That's the OG, yeah. But this is also it's getting it's getting up there with favorites. Jackass of the week.
Oh no, I know this is going.
Jackass of the week.
That's just the Reddit story. You've just ripped off the Reddit story and just put the
We don't have
Jackass
one
of the
yet.
week. We don't have one. We'll get it. We'll be
That's
getting
like
one.
Drake taking KMT from X.
Oh no.
Straight up.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no. But yeah, this Jackass of the week is in a specific person, but a whole club.
Just lay it on me, man. Lay it on me.
Yeah. So obviously Casper's an Essendon fan, so he knows where I'm going with this. And all my AFL supporters out there that'd be knowing where I'm going with this. But so recently, one of Essendon's stars.
But backing up a bit more, Essendon, all their stars are leaving at the moment. Like all the stars are saying that the culture of the club's no good. There's no vision at the club, so everyone's like, I want to find a new home. And one of those players is
I
Adam
can't
Sard.
really be like giving shit to you either because I'm a North Melbourne supporter and we're probably the only worst club.
But at least you guys have a
right
vision
now.
at the moment. At least North Melbourne, it's even though their execution isn't the best, they at least got the vision, so they know what they're aiming for and they're doing it right now.
Oh, we've got a lot of young guns.
Can I
I'm
say
getting so
something?
G'd. Yeah.
Yeah, so Adam Sard, this cunt that we bet on, remember if you go back a few podcasts,
Sard,
he lost us like
no,
$50, me and Iris both. So he's leaving Essendon, which is like, used to be a really good team, but it's like really like
Pretty mediocre over the past 20
right.
years.
So it's like he's a good player. So you're like, okay, he's gonna leave Essendon. He's gonna join a good team, right? No, this cunt's joining Carlton, another shit team. Why is he swapping?
No,
Why is he
man.
swapping?
No,
I don't know,
man.
Carlton-
I would definitely like to play for Carlton.
Carlton's
these
got a
days.
vision, dude. Carlton's got a vision. See, the thing is, Ivan, is at the moment, yeah, Carlton has a vision. They've got goals. They've got a plan. I don't even know what Essendon are doing right
I
now.
never-
Essendon think they're a lot better than they are. So their plan is we're going to win a premiership right now. And our old coach who just left this season, John Worsfold, would always say after every season, it's going to take time. And nothing happens instantly. But our recruiting director, Adrian Dodoro, had a completely different vision to what John Worsfold did. And he would try and get players who were, already stars, so Essendon could win a final or a championship right now. Whereas John Worsfold's vision was, we're going to win a premiership in 3 years' time. And that his vision would be 3 years' time every single season. And that's been happening since he came to the club in 2016.
So basically, all these players are trying to jump ship before the ship sinks.
Yeah, because the ship is definitely sinking, and right now it looks like there's no fix
But
to it.
not only that, but Carlton's getting it Tom Papley, Zach Williams, Adam Sard, and they're also looking for another player like Lockie Hunter or something. So they're looking really good at the moment.
These guys are all, for those who don't really know AFL, all these players are, they're not too young, but they've got a lot of good football left in them.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much stars at the moment
Carlton's
already.
playing finals next year for sure.
Bro,
Like they're looking
I
good.
never thought I'd hear the day Ethan's talking up Carlton. Honestly,
No, but the thing is, I'm
They
not.
deserve it. If a team's performing well, you're not going to be like, even if you hate them, you're not going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. I'm not, if a team's
you gotta give
playing
credit where
well,
credit's
like,
due.
do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm like,
Shout out Lucandi.
I feel like so
Yeah, shout out Lucandi.
you honestly think that they'll make finals?
Yeah, I
I think
genuinely
this
think
is
they'll
gonna
make
be.
finals. They'll make
I think this
finals
is
for
gonna
sure.
be like.
if they get all those players, if they just get the big three that they're heavily linked with, Tom Papley, Zach Williams, and Sard, they're playing finals.
That's
they're playing finals
That's
for
a
sure.
completely different look.
Yeah, they're playing finals for sure.
Because every team's only as good as their weakest link. And, those three are definitely inside their best, not just best 22, but in their best, I'd say 10. So that's pushing out three of their worst players. So,
I feel like
the ranks
this
change.
is gonna be a Clippers Kawhi situation where everyone's talking them up. And
no,
they're
they're not going to
bust,
win the
bro.
premiership. No, definitely not. But they're going to be.
I don't
playing
feel like they're
finals.
gonna make finals, bro.
I
You wouldn't make a bet with. You wouldn't make a bet with me. I'll bet you on it.
How much do you want to bet?
I don't know.
I'm definitely with Iris in this case. I think, Ivan, you are losing out on this bet.
This
Yeah.
is definitely gonna be a Kawhi situation where everyone talks it up all year.
Nah, not if they get these. All right, so we had some technical issues, but we're back. But yeah, Ivan, 100%. If those three are in the team, Carlton are playing finals. Straight
100%.
up.
100%. You're definitely losing that bet.
Bro, I'd like to make this bet. I'd make.
Okay,
this
so
bet.
what are you betting exactly?
Yeah,
what-
propose the bet.
yeah,
you,
what-
You came up with the idea. Propose the bet, and I'll see if I take it.
Okay, we should do some like, what's that like a forfeit?
All right, so I reckon if you lose this bet, you owe Iris like a whole ounce of weed because I know that's gonna kill you. I know that will kill you.
Thing is, I don't even smoke.
Yeah,
so
what's
that's
he
so
gonna do
useless
with
to me.
that?
No, but if I know if it kills you, I'll do it.
Surely just hand it to me, man.
But then that
that's the
means
real
if
reason
I
for
win,
the
I
bet,
need
man.
the most. I need the most sweet thing ever. There's nothing that good.
You okay? How about a month's rent? That sounds. I reckon that's fair. A month's rent.
Did we make it? Wait, we've already made a bet. What was that bet we made?
That was me and you.
I don't know.
What's
No,
our bet?
don't
What's
say it
our
on.
bet?
Don't say it on.
we ain't
Don't say it
doing
on.
it. We ain't giving him that clout.
Don't say it
boy.
on live.
We ain't getting
Wait,
that
what is
clout.
it?
We'll talk off camera about it, but don't say it.
If you know, you know.
But yeah, anyway, my jackass of the week, Essendon. So Essendon losing side. So, and obviously Carlton won side, but because side is a restricted free agent, Carlton have to give something up for it. Yeah. So they started talks, I think yesterday, and Essendon are like to Carlton, look, give us your first round pick, which I think is pick seven. Yeah. Which is first round pick, and Sam Walsh, who was their number one pick last year. He's a gun. Like that's so. Essendon, you're a jackass for thinking that's going to happen.
They're definitely not going to. No, but you always start negotiations high.
Bro,
No,
that's
this
not
is
high.
unrealistically,
That's not high.
yeah.
If this was NBA 2K21 and you put that negotiation on the table, the endorser's pulling the contract straight away. Like, look, that's ridiculous. No, if this was FIFA, if this was literally career mode in FIFA, the gaffer's walking out. He's like, look, I ain't doing this shit. You're a fucking idiot. You're out of here. You're done.
Yeah, I can definitely see you start high, but this is unrealistic.
Could that be Essendon like trying to ruin the deal for Sard?
No, because what's it called? He is a free agent. So Carlton have to match what Essendon wants.
He's a restricted free
But
agent.
at the end of the day, if Carlton doesn't like put up the right deal and Essendon like doesn't agree with it, Sard can he's gonna need a new contract obviously because he's out of contract now. That's why he's a free agent. If Essendon put up a contract like, look, you know, Carlton didn't give you the right deal, we're willing to give you this. Sard will just say no, and then he's gonna be a free agent and he's just gonna go in the draft and someone's gonna draft him straight away. So they're just playing themselves. Yeah, so no matter what, Essendon's not having Sard next year.
He's a restricted free agent. So when you're an unrestricted free agent, you can move to wherever you want. Like
For
that's
nothing,
it.
like literally,
Yeah, for nothing.
there's no stipulations about it.
But right now he's a restricted free agent. But yeah,
So at the end of the day, Essendon's not keeping Sard.
Essendon would keep Side if they could.
Yeah, if they could.
Because Zach Merritt wants to leave right now too, but like he's got 1 year left on his contract, and Essendon aren't giving that because they're notorious for doing that.
I think the moral of the story here is just Essendon. What the fuck are you doing? Tie your shit up.
I'm sorry, but if you're Essendon, why would you give up merit?
You don't want to.
Yeah,
no, you don't want to. You don't want to.
saying that's a bad
But
thing.
No. So the thing is if a player's unhappy and they've made it clear that they're unhappy, you keep them for that 1 year because they're on that contract. You're going to get nothing for that player because that player is walking the minute he can, and you have a bad relationship with him because you kept him somewhere that you don't want
you're not
to.
going to play to your
If he's a good player,
exactly. But isn't it better to keep him with the
it's
shit
not.
morale than let him be good on another team? You're going to play yourself.
You know, if he's a good player and he clearly doesn't want to be there, you give him off to another club. Get something for the player. Get something for
Let's
him.
just say it's in terms of a ranking. If this is an S ranked player, so like a top tier player, you know, if they're playing with Paul Morrell, they're going to go straight to an A ranked player, which means your best player is now a whole step behind another team's best player.
But that's better than another team having him and having an S-rated
No,
player.
because then you're giving the opportunity to another player. So even though you might be losing that season or whatever, that player is getting some experience. Just like, for example, Essendon in 2016. I refer to Essendon a lot because I'm a Essendon supporter. Essendon in 2016, although we finished bottom of the table, you know, we got the wooden spoon. We got the first round draft pick, and we also got a bunch of young players with experience. So we got to give players experience where other clubs had their best players playing and their young guns, potential young guns, getting thrown away because their stars were performing. So at the end of the day, I feel like Iris is onto something. It's a lot better to, if a player wants out, just get rid of them. Give experience to the players that actually want to play for your club. Because who knows? It could be a shit gamble. Because at the end of the day, that's all sport is. It's all a gamble. It's all probability.
Not only that, but yeah, one, you want to get something for the player. You don't want him to just walk away.
Yeah, I
He's
get
definitely
that part.
returning.
I
Two, what does that do to the other players on the team? What happens when your number one player or your number two player doesn't want to be there?
And they're still getting a game every week.
it impacts the whole team. You don't want to be playing with a player. You're giving your all. You're putting your body on the line, and one of your boys on your team doesn't want to be there. It just doesn't. Trust me, it ruins the team.
Yeah, okay,
Get him out of
I
there.
understand.
Start moving on. Like, you have to. And then not only that, but other free agents are going to want to go. Do you think I want to go to Essendon if you're clearly unhappy there, just want to hold on to you like they did to Joe Danaher? Hell no, I don't want to be there. It just ruins your club image for other free
Like in
agents.
2016, what's it called? Exact same thing. After 2016, Essendon was a hotspot because all the other players around the competition were like, oh, okay, now because Essendon had all these young players who got game time, everyone thought that they'd be at the top of the table after a few years. That never happened. So Essendon got a whole lot of players, like good players at the time, coming to our club because people thought it was going to be a good move. Evidently it wasn't, but that's what you want. You want your young stars to perform because then it entices other, already made stars coming to your club.
I know you're not going to like this, Casper, but to the jackass of the week, we salute you for your stupidity and foolishness. May you continue to do dumbass things to bring us entertainment, especially as a North Melbourne supporter.
You know what? But as it goes, I'm so sick of Essendon at the moment, but I'll always support them. No matter what. I ain't no plastic supporter. I mean, it pains me watching them play, but you know what? I got to put up with
we
it.
won 3 games this year. Like,
bro, and 2 of those games at the start of the season.
Yeah. And like, I feel like that's what North Melbourne's like years to come are going to look like. So don't worry, I'm in the same boat as you.
I just hope that next week we're not the jackass as well, man.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Actually, no, you know what? No, please be the jackass of the week.
Everyone, all the other Australian listeners are like, please listen and please be the jackass.
But we're gonna get our podcast on Spotify and Apple Music now. Like, we're making that happen.
It's cool. We got proof now on the internet. So if it doesn't happen, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
No, it's happening.
It's a lot easier for our viewers to listen to, and then like hopefully
people can actually listen to it, while they're driving to work now as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we're definitely getting that on there.
Did you guys see Lil Uzi got arrested in Philly?
Yeah, I heard that.
This man
Is that a story for next week, man?
Nah, this man was doing he had a paintball war in the streets, and then got arrested, like full paintball, like spraying the.
Is that actually illegal?
Well,
Yeah.
he was like spraying the buildings and shit. What do you reckon? Yeah, and like cars and shit just in the streets, man.
I love
and
watching
then
his live streams.
You can see, there's a full like video of it, so you can see, and he there's like 50 cops, man. They all get it.
I love that shit. I love when he live streams that, just him driving down Philly and he's like, he's 4-wheeler.
Yeah, on the floor, he's always doing the wheelies.
Dude, I'd be getting
That's
scared.
crazy,
Please,
bro.
Uzi, please take it easy. Wear a helmet. Don't die. We can't lose Uzi. We can't lose Uzi.
How old is this man?
please. I was like, what, mid 25, like 25 or something?
Yeah, it's like 25.
Surely not
We
the
can't
27
lose
club.
Uzi.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
got 2 years left. No, it's not even. Now it's a 21 club. Juice, like.
Or below 21.
Yeah.
21 or below.
Sub 21 club.
Yeah, it's so fucked. Back in my day,
Back in my
day, they used to die 27. Now it's 21. Come on. Next generation's gonna be the 16 club.
No, don't even say that, man. Don't even say that.
Ivan, you say a lot of screwed up shit.
Yes. It's like this man's looking forward to it. It's like, when my son grows up, it's gonna be the 16 club.
You'll always do me like that.
You do yourself like that. No
Yeah,
one,
you definitely do.
You actually said those words.
Listen back to the podcast and listen to how you sound.
I don't see what there's anything what I said. It used to be 27 club. Now it's a 21 club. How are you gonna tell it's not gonna be the 16 club next? That's what it's leading to.
I mean, I guess that is the trend, but don't forget you did also say about the Girl Scouts. I ain't repeating it, dog.
Yeah, they sell their cookies on cuteness. That's true.
I think this is the time to wrap it up, boys.
Ivan, how do you feel that they're underage? They can't have wine.
No, okay. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you
think
for
that's where
listening.
we end
Next
it.
week, bro. And I'll see you next week.
See you then.